Airport in chaos. BTS Taehyung appears unexpectedly. Fans instantly hysterical. No one at the airport that morning expected history to repeat itself in such a dramatic, heart-stopping way. The terminal was supposed to be calm, just another ordinary day filled with rolling suitcases, quiet announcements echoing through the halls, and travelers lost in their own routines. But everything changed in a single moment. One unexpected appearance that turned order into chaos, silence into screams, and an ordinary airport into the epicenter of global attention. Without warning, BTS Taehyung appeared, and nothing was the same again. It started with a whisper. A single murmur passed between two fans standing near the arrival gate, unsure of what they were seeing. At first, it felt unreal, like a mirage created by hope and imagination. Someone lifted their phone, zooming in shakily. A tall figure in a simple yet striking outfit walked calmly through the terminal, head slightly lowered, face partially hidden, but unmistakable. That walk, that aura, that presence. There was no doubt. Kim Taehyung was there. Within seconds, the whisper exploded into a wave. Phones were raised high, social media apps opened instantly, fingers shaking as fans rushed to confirm what their eyes already knew. Is that Taehyung? V from BTS is here. He's at the airport right now. The words spread faster than security could react. In a matter of moments, the calm terminal transformed into a scene of disbelief, shock, and uncontrollable emotion. Taehyung had not been on any official schedule. No prior announcements. No hints. No cryptic messages. Nothing. That was what made the moment so powerful, so dangerous, and so unforgettable. Fans had grown accustomed to tracking flights, analyzing schedules, and predicting appearances. But this time, there was nothing to analyze. He appeared as if out of thin air, like a living legend stepping directly into reality. The screams came next. High-pitched, emotional, raw. Some fans cried openly, hands covering their mouths as tears streamed down their faces. Others froze completely, unable to move, their minds struggling to process the shock. A few dropped their phones, too overwhelmed to even record the moment they had dreamed of for years. Security personnel exchanged panicked glances as the crowd began to grow, drawn in by the noise, the excitement, the chaos. Taehyung, meanwhile, remained calm. That calmness, almost surreal, only added fuel to the hysteria. He walked with steady steps, surrounded by staff, yet his presence alone commanded the entire space. Every eye followed him. Every breath seemed to pause when he stopped, even briefly, adjusting his mask or turning his head slightly. That single glance was enough to send fans into another wave of screams. What made the situation even more intense was the way Taehyung looked that day. There was something different, something heavier in his aura. Dressed in an effortlessly stylish yet understated outfit, he radiated a quiet confidence mixed with mystery. His hair fell perfectly, framing his face in a way that made fans question reality itself. Was this really happening? Or was it a collective dream? Videos began flooding the internet almost instantly. Shaky clips, blurred images, chaotic angles, but none of that mattered. The proof was there. Taehyung at the airport. Unexpected, unannounced, unavoidable. Within minutes, hashtags began climbing global trends. Fans across different countries woke up to notifications that made their hearts race. Time zones no longer mattered. Everyone was suddenly in the same moment. As the crowd grew, airport staff struggled to maintain control. Security lines broke formation. Announcements were drowned out by screams. Travelers who had no idea what was happening stopped in their tracks, confused by the sudden eruption of emotion around them. Some asked, "Who is that?" Only to be met with shocked laughter and frantic explanations. That's Taehyung. BTS. That's V. For longtime fans, the scene felt painfully familiar. Memories of past airport appearances came rushing back, times when BTS presence alone could shut down entire terminals. But this was different. This was rawer, more intense, perhaps because no one was prepared. Perhaps because absence makes the heart grow louder. Or perhaps because Taehyung himself seemed to carry a deeper, more magnetic energy than ever before. Some fans screamed his name over and over, voices cracking. Others shouted words of love, support, and encouragement, hoping, just hoping, that he might hear even one of them. "Taehyung, we love you." echoed through the terminal like a chant, desperate and sincere. For a brief moment, he turned his head, eyes scanning the crowd. That single second ignited absolute madness. People swore later that he smiled. Others claimed his eyes looked emotional. Some insisted he nodded slightly, as if acknowledging the love pouring toward him from every direction. Whether real or imagined, that moment became legend almost instantly. Fans replayed the videos frame by frame, analyzing every movement, every expression, every breath. The chaos escalated when fans from outside the terminal rushed in after seeing live updates online. "He's still here," messages spread like wildfire. Security had no choice but to tighten formations, guiding Taehyung forward more quickly. Yet even then, the crowd surged, emotions overflowing in ways that logic could not contain. What was he doing there? Where was he going? Was this a personal trip? A secret schedule? A surprise appearance linked to something bigger? The questions exploded across social media. Theories were born and destroyed within minutes. Some believed it hinted at a new project. Others thought it was related to fashion, music, or an international collaboration. A few feared it was something more serious, something deeply personal. Taehyung gave no answers. And that silence only made the moment more powerful. As he moved closer to the departure area, the tension reached its peak. Fans begged him not to leave so soon, as if time itself was the enemy. The sound inside the airport became overwhelming, a mix of sobs, screams, laughter, and disbelief. Even those who had seen BTS members countless times admitted later that this felt different. He felt different. There was a sense of vulnerability in the air. Taehyung was not performing. He was not on stage. There were no lights, no choreography, no music. Just him, walking through an airport, and millions of hearts reacting in real time. That contrast, the simplicity of the setting against the magnitude of his impact, made the scene unforgettable. When he finally disappeared behind the security gate, the screams didn't stop. In fact, they grew louder, as if fans were trying to hold on to the moment through sound alone. Some collapsed onto the floor, overwhelmed. Others hugged strangers, united by the shared shock of witnessing history. Many stood frozen, staring at the empty space where he had just been, as if hoping he might reappear. Even after he was gone, the airport remained in chaos. Flights were delayed. Lines were disrupted. Staff worked tirelessly to restore order. But emotionally, nothing could return to normal. Everyone there knew they had just experienced something extraordinary. Online, the aftermath was even more explosive. Clips reached millions of views within hours. Fans dissected every detail: his outfit, his body language, the way he walked, the way he looked back. News outlets scrambled to keep up, while fans demanded answers that no one could give. Why was Taehyung there? Became the question on everyone's lips. Yet perhaps the true power of the moment lay not in the answers, but in the reaction. The hysteria was not just about seeing a celebrity. It was about connection, about years of music, comfort, growth, and shared emotion culminating in a single, unexpected moment. Taehyung didn't need to speak. His presence alone was enough to shake the world. For many fans, that day became unforgettable, a core memory etched into their hearts forever. They would remember exactly where they were when they saw the first video, felt the first scream, or realized that Taehyung had appeared without warning and turned an ordinary airport into a battlefield of emotions. And as the dust slowly settled, one truth became undeniable. No matter how many years pass, no matter how quiet or distant things may seem, the power of BTS, and especially Taehyung, remains unmatched. One appearance, one moment, one airport, and the world lost its mind. The question now isn't what happened that day. The real question is this: if a single, unannounced appearance can cause this much chaos, what will happen next when Taehyung decides to step into the spotlight again? Fans are watching, waiting, and ready to lose their minds all over again.